Welcome back. In this section, we're going to learn about the hardware and software needed to deploy and design VisionSuite systems. Now, even though VisionSuite is not a single box or a single piece of software, and there are a few different components that bring it together, we've made it incredibly simple to design and deploy thanks to some very tight integration between these different components. Now, let's start with the software. As with any Q-SYS system, we're going to be using the Q-SYS Designer software to connect our core, deploy the whole system, and connect cameras, microphones, and other devices to each other. For this training, we're only going to be focusing on the microphone and the camera signal flow, but of course a real system is going to have a lot more going on. So make sure you check out other training like Q-SYS Level 1, Q-SYS Level 2, and the Control and UCI training, if that's something that you're going to be doing. Now, within Q-SYS Designer, we've kept things simple thanks to a single VisionSuite component. By double-clicking this, you enter into a 3D space where you can design the room, add in floor plans, add in audio zones, vision zones, cameras, microphones, link everything together, and then you can also define the rules and the behavior of the room. When you get to deployment of the system in the room, you're also going to need some software from our partners, such as Dante Controller or software from Shure or Sennheiser to control the microphones. But we'll cover that in a later section. Now, let's talk about the hardware that we need, starting with the VSA100, the VisionSuite accelerator. This is a native Q-SYS peripheral which has a powerful GPU, and it processes all the data from the intelligent microphones in the room and controls all of the cameras, whether they're vision-driven cameras or audio-driven cameras. As the VSA is doing a great deal of processing on the GPU, best practice for this kind of IT appliance is to install it in a separate comms room. It's a 1U device, about 450 millimeters deep, and if you're familiar with its predecessor, the Vision server, it's about half the size and it runs a lot cooler. On the back of the VSA, the only connections you need to make are network and power, and all the video and control information is delivered via the network. Not all Q-SYS core models are currently supported with VisionSuite. Make sure you specify a Core 24F or higher for all VisionSuite systems. The VisionSuite software on the VSA100 supports updates outside of the usual Q-SYS releases using a patch. Normally, you update your core with the Q-SYS Designer software, and the core updates all the peripherals that are in its design. With VisionSuite, you also need to download the latest patch file and load it onto the VSA using the patches page in Core Manager. A quick note, in version 10.0, multiple VSAs connected to one large Q-SYS core is not supported. It's one VSA and one Q-SYS core. You're probably going to want a few cameras, and you can use any of the NC series cameras except for the NC Pro 15X. Support for that is coming very soon. And of course, we're going to need some intelligent microphones to pick up the talkers in the space. And we support the MXA920 from Shure and the Sennheiser Team Connect Ceiling 2 microphone. Now, both of these are ceiling tile microphones, but there are some differences and some nuances in the commissioning process. And also, the MXA920 will give you accurate talker height information, even with one microphone. Now, before we move on, let's make sure we understand how all these pieces fit together. Starting with the core. Of course, like any Q-SYS system, a system with VisionSuite starts with the Q-SYS core. However, while the core contains the configuration of the system, the VisionSuite accelerator, the VSA, is actually used to process all the information coming from the room and to automate the cameras. The core and the VSA are in constant communication through that VisionSuite component that runs on the core. Next, microphones. The intelligent microphones in the space share 3D positional data with the VSA, and when multiple microphones are used, their data is combined in real time, and they all contribute towards accurate positioning of talkers in the room. The mic audio is sent to the core via Dante, as it would be for any other Q-SYS conferencing system, but voice activity detection ensures that only speech is used to identify talker positions. For cameras, the NC series cameras have their video routed to an AV bridging destination in the normal way, but the video is also routed to the VSA for computer vision analysis, and the VSA controls the camera's PTZ movement directly. which also happens for cameras that are controlled only by audio data. Now, this might sound like a lot to keep track of, but the good news is you don't need to think about any of that because the VisionSuite component abstracts all of this away from you. From your point of view, you simply configure the VisionSuite component and VisionSuite handles all the connections between the devices. You only need to connect directly to the core when programming, which is just like any other Q-SYS system.